And 3, 2, 1. Hey everyone, and welcome to our continuation of our season 2 rewatch on AGT time. Cody Patterson here
along with Jay Bach, and you thought you had gotten to the finals of America's Got Talent season 2, but surprise, there's more. There's lots more finals.
yes, as Julie Chen would say on Big Brother. Oh, wait, there's more.
Wait, but or as Ron Popeil would say, but wait, there's more.
Yes.
And you might expect to pay $500 for this podcast, but we won't ask you to pay $500, not even $400 or $300. But
It'd be
for the
nice
low,
if
low
you
price of just tuning in, you get
yes,
AGT Time Pod.
but it would be great if if there was $1 thrown our way, we'd really appreciate that.
Sure, of course.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
always welcome to uh, show your appreciation by helping us fund this podcast. There's hosting fees and whatever, and as we are yet to get a sponsor, every dollar that it costs us to make this podcast is dollars that we spend. So, if you're enjoying us, give us a couple dollars. If you're enjoying us that much, if you're enjoying us, like 5 stars worth, like just a couple minutes to go, like click on the iTunes and give us some stars, rate, review. We'd appreciate that. And while we're on it, you can tweet at AGT Time Pod, or if you want to speak to Cody directly, it's at Cody L. Patterson, or Jay Bach is at One Man Bander. You can email us, agttimepod at gmail. AGT Time Pod is our Facebook home. That's the place to do it, folks. AGT Time Pod.
Yeah, don't forget about the Instagram.
And of course, Instagram. Yeah.
We're very new, we're very young on that. So, but we're trying to grow it.
Oh yeah. It's happening. We're Instagramming and Facebooking, and I sound like Bobby Moynihan's drunk uncle character here. Our kids these days are snap facing and
Yeah, but
know.
anyway, Jay, this was a pretty interesting episode, and I don't recall ever seeing anything like it before, and I don't think I've ever seen anything like it since. I'm just going to say right off the bat, I was confused by the format at the beginning of the show.
Okay, so the format, like you said, is something we haven't seen before. And what they're going to do is they're going to bring all 10 acts out on stage. We don't know which ones are going through. Um, and one at a time, they're going to say, next up to perform is this group. And they then perform. And now there's 9 acts left up on stage. Next act to perform is this one. And that performance happens. So they narrow it down until they have 3 acts left, and only one of them's going to get to perform and have a chance at next week to make the top 8. And 2 of them, you didn't get enough votes, you're eliminated. You're right. This is different, and it's weird.
Yeah, it was really weird because what I thought we would get was throughout. I'm really not sure what I would get. I thought they would just announce 8 acts and they'd be like, okay, let's go perform. But like you said, they eliminated them one at a time, and they came out and performed. And they also
through one at a time.
They did. They put them through to the top 8 one at a time. Yes, that's true. And they also talked about performing. It sounded like the way they described it, it sounded like they were going to be performing with their heroes, but they dedicated these performances to their heroes.
Yeah. So they kept this is Heroes Night, and
yes,
all performers are going to dedicate an act to their hero. And it might be somebody who's famous and inspired them. It might more likely be a parent.
Some sort of family member.
Yeah. Or, their sensei, if that doesn't
no spoilers yet, Jay.
Too much, but so, somebody you haven't heard of is probably going to be who their hero is. Uh, and I'm not sure that we ever saw Heroes Night come back, and I think I know why. It was weird.
Yeah, I was anticipating something like we'd seen in more recent seasons where they performed with the person. And it wasn't like in the most recent seasons they performed with them as an exhibition, whereas
Right.
tonight I thought they were performing with them as their perform or at first I thought they were performing with them as an exhibition when they were put through the top 8, but then after we got through the first performance I'm like, oh, that was their actual performance. Where was the person they were supposed to perform with?
No, just they just received the dedication, and that's it.
Okay.
It's over.
Okay. Okay. It took me a performance to figure that out, but once I did, then it was smooth sailing from there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, the format was weird. Any other things to say kind of before we jump into actual acts?
I don't think so. I mean, and we could kind of talk about them a little bit more as we get to each one because I have a couple of um additional comments about a couple of acts. And as we get further along, I have kind of a thought about the results for getting into the top 8. But I'll wait and kind of talk about that later.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
let's talk results then. I guess results and acts and everything else. So
Yeah.
the first act going through is Robert, in no particular order, by the
No
way,
particular order. Yeah, that's right.
is Robert Hatcher, our soul singer. He's gonna tell us that his hero is Al Green. He's gonna dedicate this song to Al Green. He's gonna sing "Let's Stay Together." He's joined by Ricky Minor and the AGT band. He um, uh, he did pretty good. I don't know that I loved this performance. I felt like there were some pitch problems, but it might just be because this is a hard song to sing, and the intervals are weird intervals that you jump to.
Right.
Uh,
Uh,
his falsetto notes, they're hard notes to really nail. Um, what do you think of the performance?
I recognize this song. I think from most famously from Pulp Fiction. I think it's in Pulp Fiction. Um, and when they said, "Oh, Al Green," I'm like, "Cool, he's gonna be performing with Al." And this is where I was thinking they're gonna be performing with their heroes. I'm like, "Cool, he's gonna
That's
be
a big
performing with Al Green.
letdown.
That's great." And then it just him that comes out, and I'm like, "Where's Al Green? I wanna see Al Green." Um, but I thought he did a pretty good job. He performed it very similar to how the album version is.
Yep.
Yes, he may have had a few pitch issues, but I thought he sang it very similarly to how the album version is. I thought he also looked real snappy. I think he was pretty much in all black, so he looked good. He looked the part, like he's going to be a singer someday. But I had in my notes, I'm like, is this the performance? Again, I was confused at the beginning, and I'm gonna hear it from our buddy AGT commenter about this. But this format was just it threw me off. Once we got past this one, it was fine. I was waiting for Al Green to come out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
Al Green and no fire. So that's two strikes against him right off the bat. But
That's right. That's right.
he
That's right.
he did have the live band backing him up and some backup singers.
Yes. Yes. When you get a band and backup singers and you kind of fill in that regular singing voice, it's always a plus for me.
Yep, yep.
I'm not sure it was a great way to start the show. Um, I,
Yeah,
I didn't feel like this was kind of one of those performances that we get that like gets the show fired up and get it going. Um, if you'd sang something maybe more upbeat and more exciting, um, more Vegas like, it may have helped. I just with this type of song, it just didn't feel like one that would be good to get a show started.
you're right. This particular song, like it's all about like the laid back vibe
Yeah.
and the cool, dim lights, like that feel, and that is, it's not It's not going to knock it out of the park.
No,
Um,
no.
so I'm curious. Do you think that they just completely randomized the order, or do you think that they um, uh, chose it to come first, or what do you think? What do you think happened?
I don't think it was randomized. I think that the order was specifically chosen. Uh, and we've talked about this in previous seasons about how do they order a show, and of course producers want an act at the beginning that's gonna fire up the audience. It's gonna get the crowd going. It's gonna get people excited about the episode. So I don't think they just rolled dice and said, Robert Hatcher. They say no particular order. I think the order is chosen by production in order to put on a show.
Yeah,
It's not alphabetical order. It's not most votes order. It's none of that. But I do think that they got the list and then they went through it and said, okay, now who's going to go first and who's going to go second, who's going to go third.
right. Yeah. Yeah, I suspect it's not just completely randomized, but um, I'm not sure that they chose the right act to go first for the entertainment value.
Yep, agreed. And
Uh,
kind of looking at this, I mean, I think there was some acts that came later, maybe just one act that came later that may have filled that slot a little bit better than him.
yeah. Um, uh, I don't know. I could think of a few different ways that they could do it, and yeah, it's not not great for not great for the show. But back to kind of his performance. Um, like you said, he looked great, great stage presence. Hoff said your charisma makes up for any mistakes. Sharon said you sang really well, but you're not improving each week. We need more oomph. And Piers said, I felt that was a very, very good performance. So I think pretty good praise from the judges, but they're reserved in saying, there may have been mistakes, right? You may have lacked a little bit of oomph. It was very, very good, but not like you are destined to win this thing or anything. So,
Right, right.
um,
I mean, I enjoyed it. It didn't blow me away.
yeah,
Yeah,
I wasn't moved by it.
I wasn't
I can
moved by it.
enjoy it
Yep,
without being moved by it. Yep,
yep,
and
yep,
that's kind of how
yep,
I felt.
yep.
Okay, we ready for our second act, our second result?
Yes.
Second act going through in no particular order is Julienne Erwin. Um, her hero is going to be her friends back home who help her keep things in perspective. Uh, she's going to sing the song Crazy by Patsy Cline. It's just her on the stage, sitting on a stool, some fog machines running, got the fog around her ankles. Um, Crazy is, um, I don't know, it's a song that I'm familiar with. I've heard it a
Mhm.
thousand times.
Yep.
Uh, I felt like her particular performance, like it, the judges kept saying like it was too mature, like you need to be 14. I felt like it was just a step or a step and a half too low. Like her low notes she was kind of struggling with,
Hmm.
and if it had been brought up just a touch, it might have been a little bit more in her range, and she might have felt more comfortable with it. And what the judges pegged as being too mature of a song might not have been the case.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't think it was too mature for her, but one of my issues with it is Crazy's one of those songs where you almost have to have that yodeling voice to sing it. There's a lot of instances where you have to go low and then high, and you have to kind of almost crack your voice in order to sing some of the notes. And I didn't feel she did that. I felt when she changed pitch, she kind of just eased her way into it. Whereas this type song, you need to snap to that note when you're going high and low. So it didn't do much for me. It was a fine song. It was a good song. I thought she hit the pitches, but she needed to do more of the old school country type singing where it's on the verge of yodeling, but not totally. Um, one of the other young singers that I remember singing this, I think Leanne Rhymes may have sang this when she was young.
I
I,
believe
I
that. Yeah.
yeah, I didn't get a chance to go back, but I think she may have sung this when she was young. So kids can sing this, but you have to have the voice to be able to sing it.
Yeah. And I think with a little bit more experience, a little bit more, just time on the microphone, and a little bit more time with a coach, she can really, like, she's a special talent, but she's not quite there. That's what I felt after this performance. It was good. It was very good, but again, it didn't move me. Sort of my feeling about it. Um, so bring it up a touch. Hoff said, "You've got." I'm sorry. You got through to me tonight, is what Hoff said. Like, he was moved, I guess. Sharon said, I thought the song was a little too old for you. You need to be 14. Piers said, I don't think you'll be here next week. Your voice is not mature enough to win this competition. So
He,
um,
I'll say he's partly right.
he may be partly right.
Yeah.
Um, I wonder if, this is America's Got Talent season 2.
Yes.
The only other winner we've seen is Bianca Ryan,
Yes.
a
A kid
a
singer.
kid singer, right? A,
Yeah.
a teen, preteen singer. Like, I feel like that's really a strike against her. The show isn't
Like,
America's Got Teen Singers
yes.
or preteen singers. It's America's Got Talent. Like, it, there, I don't think that America wants to fall into that rut of kid singer already, right?
Yeah.
We can't have another one right away.
Hmm.
And as long as we keep doing these rewatches, we will see America get into a rut of, like, white male singers, or male singers, I guess. With there's a string of them there,
Right. And
and
if you remember back in the podcast I did with AGT commenter, we did a what if, and that was
mhm,
a what if that we did, and what if this other person had won the competition? Well, it would have been like 6 straight singers. And my
yeah,
opinion was, I don't think the show would be around today if Terry Fator hadn't won this competition.
I,
Um,
I
I,
think
I
you
think
might be
that really
correct.
kind of broke that up.
Yeah. So I'm glad that I'm glad that she's on the screen, right?
Yeah.
She really is a special talent. I really do enjoy her as one of the acts. I I don't want her to win. I want her to do well.
Yes.
I wish her all the best in the world, but for the show's sake, I don't want her to win.
Yeah. Yep.
So I feel like that's one really big mark against her, that she has no control over. Um, so yeah, I, I think it's worth mentioning this too. Jerry Springer asks her why she came on the show in the first place, and she says, "I came on the show because I wanted the Baltimore Orioles to allow me to sing the national anthem."
Yeah.
So,
Well, I hope
she
I, I think she's been able to do that.
it's you shoot for the moon and you land among the stars, right? Like,
Yeah.
she was. All I really want to do is sing at the ballpark, and now she's top 8 in America. So not not a bad, result there, I guess.
So in 2007, she was invited to sing the national anthem um, at actually Dover International Speedway NASCAR race.
Oh,
So she did that. Um, and I don't see where she did the Orioles. Oh, wait, let's see. Um, she got to
I'd have to
meet,
believe she
yeah,
did.
she got to meet, she got, I'm sorry, I'm kind of jumping around here. Um, yeah. Also in 2007, Julienne Erwin got her dream of singing the national anthem at Kingdom Yards. So there you go.
There you go. Congratulations, Julienne Erwin.
Yep.
You're a winner. No, but like, I don't want to take anything away from her. Like, that's
Yep.
that's a fine dream. Like, if if coming on the show, right? Like, having that little bit of exposure, and the Orioles being like, oh yeah, we'll bring in this person that people might recognize. Whatever, she could have been made it to the Las Vegas rounds and eliminated there, and still had like enough name and face recognition. America's Got Talent's Julienne Erwin is going to sing our national anthem, right? I don't know who they get to sing the national anthem. It's usually, Jim from the IT department, and it's like
Well,
people who happen to be able to sing. And
yeah.
uh,
I mean, there's 162 regular season baseball games.
there's
So
a lot.
that's a lot of people that can sing the national anthem if they did, one per game, or if someone did it only once, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah, and assuming half of those are home games, you're down to under a
Yes.
hundred available games. But
Yep.
golly, it's so there you go. That was kind of I thought that was a nice I don't want to say a character moment, right? Like we get their videos, we get their video packages, but like I just really wanted to sing for the Orioles. Like that's kind of a fun character moment. I liked that.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, all right. Should we move on to our next result?
Yeah.
Okay, next result here. We've got Terry Fator, our ventriloquist, singing impressionist comedian. Uh, he says his hero is his sister Debbie, and he tells us that when he wanted to have some audience involvement in his shows, his sister stayed up with him and made sock puppets with him so the audience could be included. And she was later diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, and like, I guess apparently has trouble even walking now.
Mhm.
So
So is that why we saw the sock puppets last episode or the episode before that?
I suspect so.
Yeah. Okay.
I have never been to a Terry Fator show. I feel like I watched his DVD, and I don't remember there being any sock puppets in the
Okay.
in that performance. But it might be a thing that he does. Like it might be kind of a one of his calling cards, right?
Do you think
The
you think
Terry
he
Fator
sells
sock
that?
puppets.
You think he sells that in his merch store?
I hope so. It's that'd be pretty good merch. It'd be a fun thing to go home with. I like it. Yeah, I bet it does. I'll leave that up to our researcher
Yeah.
to see if he does. So he's going to sing in the style of Dean Martin. I guess his puppet's going to sing "That's Amore," and then he's going to switch to the style of Tony Bennett and sing "I Left My Heart in San Francisco." Uh, both voices, both songs were uh, out of the park. I thought they were great. He looked great. His puppet looked great. Um, judges' comments. Hoff said, "Every week I think there's no way you can do better, but you do." Sharon said, "How many puppets do you have?" He says, "I have 15." And she says, "I look forward to seeing more of them." So she is fully expecting him to go through. Piers said, "Not only do you sing better than most singers in the competition, you sing better than Tony Bennett." So pretty high praise from the judges. They're expecting him to go through. I'd say I would too.
Yeah.
I remember at the time thinking like, what a unique, special, wonderful talent this is.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what I was trying to figure out is, was he trying to impersonate Tony Bennett and Dean Martin, or was he trying to make it his own? I really couldn't tell. It felt like he was trying to do impersonations, but the impersonations didn't really feel like they fit, like they didn't sound like the actual songs. So I didn't know if he was trying to make it his own or if he was trying to do an impersonation.
I would say he was definitely trying to do impersonations.
Okay.
I would say that trying to impersonate lounge singers, the Rat Pack, this style of song is hard, right? Like to match their tones while not moving your mouth, right? Not having the use of all the
Yeah.
space in your mouth to match those
Yeah.
tones is
Okay.
really, really hard.
Fair enough. Okay. And the one thing I really like that he did though is, while his puppet was singing, he'd kind of look around, like look at the audience, and then give a little smirk. Just kind of like, look at me, look what I'm doing. check this out.
Yeah.
So I thought that's really fun. It's just like it's just real subtle,
It-
but he kind of just looks around, gives a little smirk, hey, which I think
The
it's really really fun.
a good ventriloquist, like
Yeah,
they do that stuff, and like you kind of forget that it's their voice, and then it's like, oh yeah, that's their voice, and then you forget that it's their voice because the way that they're interacting with the puppet
yeah,
is it, it is so unnatural, right? But they make it look so natural.
mm-hmm.
It's
Yep.
something that I've always loved about ventriloquists. He does it as good as anybody.
Oh yeah, I mean absolutely. I'm still waiting for him to do more of what he did early on, where he is interacting and not just coming out and just singing a song. I like the interaction and the back and forth.
Yeah, we've kind of lost some of the comedy.
Yeah,
He's really elevating the art form, but maybe losing that comedy side of what he does. Well, I said so well, but you know, he's not he's not leaning on the comedy. He's definitely leaning on the skill, which is okay, right?
yeah,
We have the sense memory of him being funny, and we know that ventriloquists generally like that is the shtick, is being funny. And but right now he's just really really good at it, and
yeah.
that's also supremely entertaining.
Yeah, and I commented last week. It doesn't feel like he's a front runner yet, and it still doesn't feel like he's one of the front runners to win the show. I mean, they love Cas Haley, they love Butterscotch, they really like Terry Fator, but they never treat him like he's the front runner to win this show.
Yeah,
They
I'm
they
expecting
they
you to go through. You sing better than Tony Pennant. You sing better than most singers in the competition. Is not like you are one to beat, right?
right. Yeah, you are one of a kind. You are fantastic. You are the top of the class. It's none of that. It's just like, yeah, you're great at what you do, and we expect you to move through. And it's like he's just doing enough like to get through, and then like I'm guessing at the end he's just gonna like sprint past everybody else. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
still
know.
waiting to see what happens.
We'll see what these last
Yeah,
couple episodes bring us.
yeah.
Um, it's kind of is it the Princess Bride where they're sword fighting, and it's like, oh, I didn't tell you that I'm actually left-handed. Mwahaha.
Yeah,
Right? Like
yeah,
maybe he's like, I'm just really really good, and I
yeah.
know that I'm going to go through with this,
Mhm.
and you know pretty soon I'm going to actually open my bag of tricks and
Okay,
show you what
okay.
I really got.
Okay. He knows he has just enough to get through each round, and he's holding on to that touchdown that he absolutely needs in order to
Yeah.
win.
Uh,
Okay.
Pumping those brakes has to be so hard, I would think.
Yeah.
Like if you're
Yeah.
if you're really that good that you can rein in your best material for later,
Yeah.
uh, that's a pretty sweet spot to be in, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
is that what's going on? I don't know, but
Yeah. Which is just the opposite of what Hoff did in season 1, where he told the passing zone, look, you need to bring out your best in auditions.
yeah,
Yeah. It's like,
that- that's I don't know. Like you can kind of tell the acts that really do, you know, show their whole hand in auditions, and the ones that are like, this is one of the things that I do, and I will show you more when you put me through, and I'll show you more when I get past Vegas, and I'll show you more, and I'll show you more, and I'll show you more. Um, and I don't know that there's any way that I can articulate what it is about the different acts, but he's one that's like, yeah, I know I'm good, and after I've impressed you by my sword fighting left-handed, I'll switch to right-handed.
yeah.
And then you'll really be impressed, right? Um, so that's Terry Fator. Um, yeah, I don't know if he's pumping the brakes or not, but he's fantastic.
Yeah.
Another great
Absolutely.
performance.
Yep.
All right, should we talk Cass Haley?
Yes.
All right, the fourth act to make it to the top 8 is Cass Haley. Oh, sorry. Okay. His heroes is his mom and dad. They
Are
raised
we?
him
I'm
around
sorry, Jay.
music.
I'm sorry, Jay. Are we really like? Are we starting to get into the America's Got Feels now?
They're trying. Like
Okay.
that's what the producers want to do.
Okay.
Um, so I don't know. I
Okay.
think that the show is trending that direction.
Okay. Okay. I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page on that because it
Yeah.
felt very America's Got Feels.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. Okay.
Um, so he's all emotional, of course, talking about his mom and dad and how they raised him around music. And um, I don't know. He says last week I didn't get all positive comments from the judges. I'm going to fix that this week. He's going to sing the song "Easy." He's going to have the backup singers. Ricky Minor, the band, is going to join him. We get some auxiliary percussion and some horns. Um, I I thought it was a really great performance. I
Mhm.
love Cass Haley's syncopated style. He
Yep.
is consistently really fun to listen to. I could imagine owning his album.
Yeah. Yeah. This one was really good, and I think this is one of those acts that would have been great to start off the show. It was one that really got the audience going. He takes a song like "Easy" and just adds a little bit of Caribbean reggae beat to it. Um, I felt like I was like in the Caribbean listening
Mm,
to him sing that song.
I wish I was in
Uh,
the Caribbean, but
I know I was just in the Caribbean too. Yeah. Uh, one thing, no flat cap this week.
no. Was
No,
he wearing a baseball cap or was he
no cap,
hatless?
hatless,
Oh
no cap.
man,
Yep, just like you tonight, no hat.
blew the top off, Cass Haley.
So, so I love this. This was great. I thought it was a great song choice, and he absolutely made it his own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did great. I only thing that I made a comment here, other than what I've said already, is I can't attribute this tweet to the right person, but somebody tweeted something like, "Whoever wrote Easy Like Sunday Morning never had to get kids ready for church," and I agree with that. Um, Hoff said you did Bob Marley proud. Sharon said perfect song, you made it your own. Piers said, uh, you listen to us, and now I think you can win. So pretty high praise from the judges there.
Yep. See, this is what I'm
Um,
talking about. They're treating Cas Haley and Butterscotch like they're gonna win, but Terry Fader, none of that. So
yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're very good.
you're very
Uh, Cass Haley, you can win. Um, I I like him so much. I like Cass Haley a lot. I like his style. I like his voice. I like his it, the way that he emotes the songs is something that he is very good at.
yeah.
So that's Cass Haley. Anything else on Cass Haley?
Nope.
Okay, let's talk. The fifth act going through to the top eight is Jason Pritchett. He's going to be our cruise ship singer, cruise ship performer. His hero is his grandpa, another family member. He's going to sing the song "If Tomorrow Never Comes." This is like a classic touchy feely country ballad, right?
Uh, okay, kind of. So this is one of the more famous Garth Brooks songs. This is heavy rotation on the Cody Patterson playlist. Cody Patterson, or sorry, Garth Brooks is one of my all-time favorite singers,
Okay.
and so the Garth Brooks songs are on heavy rotation. So the kind of the gist of this song though is what if there is no tomorrow? What happens if you don't wake up and you know what's going to happen there? Live your life like there is no tomorrow, basically. So I mean, you could say it's kind of a touchy feely, but it's just like treat today like there is no tomorrow. Live your life to the absolute fullest.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh, there are other songs that have the same feel to them
Hmm.
that maybe not the same message, but it's the same country ballad, and it's not bad, and it does tend to, pull on those heartstrings a little bit, or it does tend to um, make you pensive a little bit, right? To kind of get at those feels. Um, and I think that this was a really good choice for Jason Pritchett,
Okay.
based on that. Like, this is kind of what he does. This is the lane that he should be in.
Okay.
Um,
Now it was last week we talked about, well, you sang that and we don't really want that, but then you did this run around the stage and we really don't want that. Can we kind of
yeah,
get somewhere in the middle? And I think he needed to come a little bit more in the middle. It still felt like this song was very close to what he did last week. And I think he needs to get a little bit more upbeat, but not where he was when he was running around the stage.
yeah. Did you notice the violins and cello on the stage with him?
I did not. There was some other things going on that I was distracted about
All right.
in his
He
during his performance.
he was joined on stage by some strings, and
Okay.
I thought that was nice. These were clearly violins, not fiddles.
Yes.
Uh,
We did fiddle talk in our last episode.
so and then the cello there. So I thought that was a really nice touch. It added nicely to his performance. Um, Pierce did give him an X.
Yes.
Uh, Hoff said it must be frustrating to pour yourself out and then get an X from Pierce. Sharon said, I loved the song choice. It suited you well. Pierce said, you're not more than a cruise ship singer. Um, he was not he was not impressed. Uh, I think it's too late in the competition for anybody to be giving X's, and I'm kind of frustrated that Pierce goes ahead and does that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. At this point in the competition, we want acts to be getting better, but I think we only should be giving X's if they just completely like just bomb it. Like they're just completely just for some reason they come out and play the piano upside down. If they completely just change up their routine, their act, and do something different, I can see an X justifying that. Uh he still sang this very well, and it didn't justify an X.
yeah, yep,
Yeah.
totally agree.
Uh
Okay,
so in addition to this, Jay, I noticed something and it kind of got me thinking. So
okay,
during his performance, I think I even actually noticed it during Cas Haley's performance, where he had a giant swath of family members sitting down front. Did you notice this?
I I didn't take note of the audience.
Okay.
I did see that there were some signs held up. I saw the sock puppets,
Okay.
but I didn't really look at like who we're zooming in on or any of that.
Okay. So there was an angle like from a camera behind the audience, maybe about halfway up the audience, and it showed this group of people, maybe 15, maybe almost 20 people wearing white shirts, white t-shirts.
Okay.
And on the back it said like Jason's mom or Jason's sister or Jason's uncle or things of that nature. So it was like Jason and then some sort of relationship. And there
Yeah.
was there was a whole group of them. Okay. And I,
Okay.
I think I first noticed them during Cas Haley's performance. So when I saw this group, I was like, I bet Jason Pritchett's going through because they would not bring out a whole group of family members to
Right.
a show if they were not going through.
Yeah. That seems like that would be the case. I I- I'm not sure what
I'm calling shenanigans.
decisions. I'm not sure.
Okay.
You could say like, hey, you can be proud of your son or daughter or this group, whatever, and unfortunately they're not going to get to go through, but you can come and support them even though they're not going through, right? And it would be um i I don't know. That's an interesting observation. I'm going to keep
Yeah.
my eyes open for that next time.
Okay. Yeah. I'm only calling shenanigans because there's a whole big group of them and they were down front and they were down front before he even performed. So it's not like it's not like they announced him and then they brought in this group to sit down there to support him. They were down there during the previous performance before he was even
Okay.
announced.
Hmm.
So I would just think that this whole group would not come and sit down front if their person that they're supporting is not going to go through. So
Yeah.
I think I'm going to call shenanigans on this night, Jay. And for some
Okay.
reason, I think that these performers, and I'm only going off this evidence here. I didn't see any other supporters. Um, so I'm thinking that these acts knew they were going through before they were announced live. Um, and it would be interesting to tell the 10 acts, look, only 8 of you going through, but all 10 of you need to have something ready. You need to go through sound check, you need to go through a rehearsal, you got to do all these things, but 2 of you are not going through. um
Yeah.
so
Ricky Minor, get your band up, and you're gonna be ready to perform this song that's never gonna be performed, right?
exactly, yes.
Um,
did
yeah,
i just
I don't
blow
know.
did I just blow people's minds out there? Did I just ruin the whole magic of AGT?
No, I don't think you did.
Okay,
I think
okay,
that more than anything, like, this isn't a talent competition for the talent. It's a talent competition for the audience, right?
okay,
It, they are making a television show,
okay.
and they need to, like, that's their primary concern, is selling ads and making money and getting eyes on the
Agreed.
screen.
Yep. Agreed. Yes.
So if there's, call it shenanigans or uh, whatever you will, like, it, they do what they have to do to make a decent production that is, within the rules a of a game show, right?
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned that, but at the very beginning of the show, Jerry even says they're gonna find out when you find out. So Jerry even made the point like they don't know that who's going through because we haven't told America who's going through yet. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of ruining the magic here, but that's I don't know.
I'm
It's just
I'm willing and able to believe that all of the acts got their allotment of 15 or 20 tickets, and they invited the people that they wanted to invite. And Jason Pritchett's group was proud enough to get matching t-shirts made up, and you know they happen to be white and noticeable, right? Terry
yes.
Fator's group all made sure that they had sock puppets to wave around. uh, you know and the ones that are eliminated might have had their group there that just wasn't noticeable, or wasn't that noticeable, and we didn't see them on screen.
Yeah.
So if anybody is listening to this and hasn't watched the episode yet and is going to go back and watch the
yeah.
episode, like, keep an eye open for us and tell
Yeah.
us what you see.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to have somebody tweet at us, or give us some feedback on that
Okay.
at
Sounds good.
AGT
Yep.
Time Pod.
Yep. AGT Time Pod.
Okay. Anything else on Jason Pritchett?
No, I think I've ruined it for everyone already. So let's
You didn't
move
ruin
on.
anything. You you literally didn't notice the violins and cellos on the stage, but you did notice some T-shirts that said Jason's uncle. So
yeah.
we, I guess we all hone in on our different things. All right, let's talk about the sixth act going through to the top eight. It's the Glamazons. They are the plus size lady, our burlesque group. Uh, the one lady, I apologize, I didn't make an effort to get her name down, but sort of the leader of the Glamazons here. She says that her hero is her mom, and she was trying to break into the Chicago cabaret scene, and her mom had this idea to do the whole group of burlesque cabaret singers, plus-sized women doing this, and it was her idea. She supported her the whole way through, and so it's her mom that they're going to dedicate their performance to. They're going to sing "It's Raining Men." Um, They have some shirtless men join them on stage. Uh, I don't know. It was classic Glamazons
Yeah.
music, classic Glamazons performance. Their dancing wasn't particularly great. Their singing wasn't particularly great. Uh, but I mean, there's some beautiful, confident, plus-sized women. They did what they do very, very
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Yeah. This is another one of those acts that I thought would have been great at the first of the episode. This would have been
Sure.
another good one that's got people real excited, get them going for the show. It was fun, high energy. When they each kind of featured each other, I thought the solos really weren't there. They felt pitchy, and I like it better when they do their harmonies when they're all together. I
Yeah.
know that they like to feature, and I think even Pierce or one of them has talked about them doing solos, but I think they're better when they do their harmonies. Piers has made it clear that they're not the best singers, they're not the best dancers, but they are great entertainment. They have kind of they're very um they're more wide than deep. They do a lot of things, but they do them okay, but they put on a great entertainment show. But
So
when you feature one thing, they don't really do that one thing very well.
yeah, and I'm trying to figure out like who is the Glamazons audience? Um, because like as much as I enjoy what they do, like I'm never going to go see them perform. I'm not going
Right.
to take my family to see them perform. Like I, I'm not sure where they fit in the entertainment world, right?
Yeah.
And I'm also really not up on the Chicago cabaret scene either. Um,
And they're not they don't belong in Branson, and they
no,
don't belong in
no,
Pigeon Forge. No.
very no. So yeah, I mean, I guess they're a Vegas act
Yeah.
for what that means.
Yeah. Atlantic City. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So I don't know. They had some golden glittery dresses on. They were very short and very busty. Um, I thought that these outfits were a little bit sexier than maybe what they've worn in the past, or I don't know, maybe a little bit more revealing than what we've seen in the past. And I'm not sure that prime time is the right place for that. Um,
Yeah.
but it is their style. Like I'm having trouble kind of squaring that circle a little bit. So
Yeah. Now, I mean, they're kind of at the tail end. They're in the last quarter of this show, but I don't think the show was on as late as it is today. Like it's on from what 8 to 10 Eastern time now, right? 7
seven
9
to nine, that feels right.
Central.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if this was today, they might be in the like that 8:30, or sorry, that 9:30 to 10 o'clock kind of time frame, where the kids have kind of been shuffled off to bed, and um, so you notice they kind of put them in the back half of this performance when maybe the kids aren't watching at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyhow, that's the Glamazons. Hoff said, I love that you incorporated the male dancers. Sharon said, it was not great at the beginning, but you pulled it together. Pierce said, based on your singing alone, you'd be going home. Based on the entertainment and sex appeal and cheekiness, you should be going to the final. So, Glamazons are now in the top 8. We'll see how they do next episode. Or, I guess, the results of this episode on the next episode. Or
So,
okay.
Jay, real quick, I want to go back just real quick to Jason Pritchett. So I
Mm-hmm.
sent you the screen grab that I did from Cas Haley's performance, and I'll actually tweet this out as well. That shows the the family members wearing the white T-shirts. So I want you to see this,
Oh, there they
and then
are. Yep.
and I'll also post it on our Twitter and Instagram so that everyone can see. Um, Cas Haley's up on the stage, and then they have this giant group
Man,
of
that's a whole bunch of them.
that's a whole bunch of I know. So that's kind of what I'm saying. It's not like the mom and dad and the sisters came out. This is the extended the extended family that came out and saw this performance. So
And the white T-shirts, they really do glow under the the black lights. So
yes.
like, if you're gonna cheer for somebody, like get out the black light paint and let's like really make it pop.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll put that out on our socials.
All right, watch for that. Okay, anything else on the Glamazons?
No.
All right, let's talk about our seventh act going through to the top eight. It is Butterscotch, our wonderful young beatboxer singer. She's going to dedicate this to her heroes, her grandmommy and grandpappy, uh, which I thought was really cute that she said grandmommy and grandpappy.
So up to this, did we really only have two actual singers that were dedicated that people dedicated and the rest are all family members?
I think so, yeah.
Or friend like friends. I think Julienne Erwin said her friends back home.
Yeah. Let me scroll up here. Robert
Okay.
Hatcher was to Al Green.
Yep.
Julian Irwin was to her friends.
Okay.
Uh,
So that one wasn't even, so it's just Al Green. Okay.
Terry Fator was to his sister Debbie. Cas Haley to his mom and dad. Jason Pritchett to his grandpa. Glamazons to her mom. Butterscotch to grandmommy and grandpappy.
Yeah.
So
And then we'll get
it's
to the last one here in a moment. But it's almost like Robert Hatcher was kind of like me. He didn't really understand the format. So he didn't understand that he was supposed to dedicate this to some family member. He's like, oh, Al Green. Hey, we're supposed to dedicate
yeah.
to like, well, I'm gonna dedicate this to Al Green and I'll sing his song. And then the rest of them were like, Al Green, man, no way. I'm dedicating this to my mom and my friends and my grandma. And like,
Yeah. So in her video package, she says it's taken my whole life to incorporate my classical with jazz and hip hop. Mom was a piano teacher. My dad, he always played Motown music. My grandparents were always playing jazz. So she's got all these different interesting influences that she's going to um, mash together into a jazzy beatbox version of My Funny Valentine. Are you familiar with the song My Funny Valentine?
yes, yeah, I'm familiar with this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really great song. And she
Hmm.
starts by playing the piano and sings. She beatboxes. Uh, this song is, My Funny Valentine. It's this laid back, jazzy, minor key, really interesting choice. Not a bad choice at all because she knocks it out of the park. She totally nails it. Um, Her ability to sing notes and beatbox at the same time is really really neat. It's kind of the same feeling like you were saying about Terry Fator, like the little wink to the audience, the little like reactions to the puppet, like her. You forget that she's doing all of this
Yeah.
herself, and
Yep.
it's kind of what you do with um, Terry Fator. So um, it's really really neat. This song I think does a great job of highlighting her beatbox singing abilities and also her piano playing, and on top of all that, her just raw musicality. Right,
Hmm.
she is a very good musician who does does it in a way that nobody else can.
Yeah. I thought you were
Uh,
going to say she's a musician that also beatboxes.
no, beatboxers are musicians. I think.
Okay.
I,
Okay.
I, I would I would
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Um,
She's classically trained in piano. I mean, that's basically what she
right.
grew up doing. And I like that she integrated the piano. I talked last week that if she's just beatboxing, I don't feel like there's enough, but we had just enough of the band in there to kind of fill it in. And then you asked about piano, and I was like, yes, also piano. So if she's playing piano and she's doing the beatboxing and she's doing the singing, it's really, really, really good. It all kind of comes together. Was it maybe it's just me, but I didn't feel that this was her best performance. I don't
I
know. Am I
I
wrong in that?
literally wrote the words. This may be her best performance yet.
Okay. I don't know what it was, but I don't know if I wasn't feeling it. Like I understand my Funny Valentine is supposed to be more of a low key, you say minor key. It's a Frank Sinatra song. I think Frank Sinatra is the one that kind of made it huge. Uh, but yes, it's very slow and low, and it's you're supposed to bring down the crowd with it. But I think I wanted something a little bit more. I do like the song. I think it's a great song, and I think she did it well. But I think I just wanted a little bit more, and that's why I just didn't feel like this was her best performance. And if I'm totally wrong on that, then I will admit it. So
Uh, and
yeah,
we all
yeah,
have the different things that we like.
yeah.
I felt like she really connected with the song. It really highlighted what she wanted to highlight, which is her ability to sing and beatbox and play the piano at the same time, uh, and her musicality. Right?
Yeah.
She presented it all flawlessly.
Hmm.
Um, so I thought it was great. You
Yeah.
know, after her performance, while the crowd was cheering, she was starting to get emotional a little bit,
Yep.
and
Yep.
I think that's something that the judges were wanting to see, that emotion.
Mhm.
Um, Hoff said, "You are elegant, glamorous,
She
charismatic,
looked good. She
and you're a
looked good.
jazz star."
Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. She was all dressed up. She had a black dress on. She looked real good.
Sharon said the performance was breathtaking. Piers said that was a beautiful performance. It was a perfect performance. So, um, pretty high praise from the judges. I agree. I thought it was beautiful and glamorous and breathtaking. It
Yeah.
was all of those things.
Yep. She also
Um,
kind of did her hair in like that wavy 40s type style, which I thought kind of helped with the My Funny Valentine, which is, of course, a Frank Sinatra
yeah,
older song. So I thought that kind of added to the era and the style of the song.
yeah, kind of leaned
So,
into it. Yep.
yep.
I thought it was a fantastic performance. I'm fully on board the Butterscotch train.
Okay.
She's great. Okay, so now we've got 3 acts left. We're down to Sideswipe, the Duttons, and Calypso Tumblers. If it were up to you, who would Cody Patterson pick as the act going through?
I think I probably would have picked the Duttons.
I agree.
Yeah.
Um,
Calypso just didn't do a good performance, I don't think. I don't think they did as good a performance as the others.
I I feel like we've seen everything that Calypso is going to give us.
Yes.
I feel like we've seen everything that Sideswipe's going to give us.
We'll see.
I feel
Okay.
like the Duttons have probably, I don't know, a 90-minute stage show all worked up and ready
Absolutely.
to go.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And they can interchange all their performers. I mean,
Yeah,
they can go from a single person on stage to 10 people on stage
yeah.
and
And if
somewhere in between.
Greg is out sick, Hank is
Yeah.
going to step up and do it.
Yeah. So,
Ain't no thing.
it's not like Sideswipe where one of the guys breaks his leg and then they just call off the entire thing.
We're out. We quit. So I was hoping, expecting the Duttons to go through is
Okay.
kind of where I wanted it to go. Um,
Well,
but
you've been big on them since the beginning.
I have,
Yeah.
I have, and there's something about what they do that just it scratches an itch that I have. I don't know. Um, they're cheesy. They know they're cheesy,
Yes.
but they
They
don't
own
act
it.
like they're cheesy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's some cognitive dissonance there. Like, oh yeah, this is totally a cheesy, ridiculous show that we do, and we are going to cheese it up all the way, but we're not going to let you know that it's totally cheesy. Like I I like that. It works for me. Uh, yeah. Sideswipe, I don't feel like they know that they're cheesy. Uh,
No, they take everything seriously.
they take everything very seriously.
Yeah.
Calypso Tumblers, uh, I wouldn't call it cheesy at all. Um, and I'm not
They
sure that
just
they take it too seriously or not
no.
seriously enough or exactly
They're
what
just having fun.
they're having a heck of a time. You're right
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. They're just having fun.
Just waiting for the Hoff to cruise by on his beach cruiser while they're out there performing on the street, man.
Hey, I tell you, LA is completely different, man.
I,
Hoff could go
I,
go to Starbucks, no one bats an eye.
I'm gonna have to go back someday. All right.
Yep.
So the eighth and final act going through is not the Duttons. It's not Calypso Tumblers. It is Sideswipe. Uh, I don't know. We cut to commercial break. We get a like highlights of the Duttons and Calypso Tumblers. Like you made it this far, it's worth saying thanks. And then we're going to see the Sideswipe. Uh, the leader of the group, his hero is Sensei John Sharkey, and that's who they're going to dedicate their performance to is Sensei John Sharkey. Um, so they're going to do some kind of a story,
Yeah.
and there's pirates and
Pirates, yes.
a
A
woman in a
damsel,
dress, a
yes.
damsel would be a fine word to use. It it kind of like it feels like sharks versus jets, but pirates. With a lot of like dance fighting. Um, they do incorporate some staffs and some
Yes,
other
they bring prop.
weapons.
They bring props out. Yes, which is what I've been saying all season.
Finally,
Yes.
um, I don't know. I'm kind of done with Sideswipe.
Yeah.
Uh, we haven't seen a lot of new exciting things from them. That they don't go quite big enough for the stage that they're on. I feel.
Right. I mean, the flips and the tumbles, it was nice that they told a story. They they had some mock fighting. They did have their props, and if you noticed, none of those props were sharp blades. They were all very blunt objects. I don't know
Yeah.
if you happen to notice that. One of them looked like a giant Allen wrench. Um, uh, but it was still nice for them to kind of have some props. And then they had I guess they had a I don't know, they had backdrop. There's kind of a Caribbean. So Cas Haley's probably sitting on the island playing a song while they're flipping and tumbling.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and then they had the damsel kind of go down and sit in Hoff's lap there at the end.
Hoff always
So
loves a damsel. That's
yes.
something.
So
Um, Here's an idea
yeah.
that I
Okay.
think would improve both Sideswipe and the Calypso Tumblers. Put Sideswipe and the Calypso Tumblers on the stage together, right?
Okay.
And instead of Sideswipe like doing this, dance fighting against themselves, like let's have like this very uh, rigid Sideswipe kind of martial arts juxtaposed against the crazy fun Calypso Tumblers kind of dancing, and let's see them kind of have a dance battle.
Okay.
That would be kind of fun to tune into.
Okay. So would that be your sharks and jets?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
uh, But the rigidity of the martial arts and the prescribed movements juxtaposed against the contortionists and the leaps and flips and throws is very different kinds of dancing, very different kinds of entertainment, which really just might uh, just be really really great to watch.
Yeah. So would you have Cas Haley kind of in the background playing the background music?
Uh, sure, why not?
Okay,
That's
sure, why not? Yeah.
you get the Caribbean feel, but also he's just a white guy, so that works. You can he can fill both roles. Okay, so that is the top eight. We've got Robert Hatcher, Julienne Erwin. Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry. Let's back up real quick before we
Yep.
move off of Sideswipe. I didn't talk about Judge's comments. Hoff said you listened to Pierce after he XU'd last time and you improved. Sharon said you made it more theatrical. Pierce said you turned it from a sport into entertainment. So they say they're headed in the right direction. Um, Not terribly high praise. Oh, like, hey, good job, you're better.
Yeah.
But um, I'm not thinking that they're winner material.
Yeah,
So
because
that's
we got to
why.
cut this
Okay.
group in half next time.
Yes, we're going down
Yeah,
from 8 to 4. So I'm gonna be curious. Who is Cody Patterson's top four? Uh,
I'm not sure that's really fair.
th-
Because I mean, considering we really know who the top four is, I'm not
no,
sure that's really
I want to know who you like the most, not who you
okay.
think is going to go through the most.
Okay, so I do like Cas Haley.
I want the
I
Cody Patterson top four. So
Yeah,
let's
okay.
let's read the list and then
Oh,
let's
sure,
let's
sure.
hear
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So Robert Hatcher was our first performer. Julienne Erwin, Terry Fator, Cas Haley, John Pritchett. I'm sorry, Jason Pritchett, the Glamazons, Butterscotch, and Sideswipe.
Okay, so I know who my top three are. I think Butterscotch, Terry Fader, and Cas Haley are kind of an easy top three.
Yep.
I think those are kind of that's the bar. Terry Fader,
Yes,
Cas Haley, and Butterscotch. It's that fourth place that I'm really not sure yet who I
I
would want.
absolutely agree.
Yeah, I really don't know who I would want because I don't know who really like surprised me and like wowed me this week. Is it the two solo singers, the Glamazons, Sideswipe? I mean, I could take any of them. I really could. I don't think it really matters because I think it's really a three person race.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree. I think it is kind of a three-horse race. Terry, Cass, and Butterscotch.
yeah.
And then my fourth, I guess I'd go with Glamazons for the variety,
Okay.
but I don't think they have a chance at winning. I don't think any other
Yeah.
group has a chance at winning.
No. No.
Any other act, I should say.
Yeah.
Terry Fader, he's the act that I would, I, I could imagine myself paying to see him perform live.
Yes.
Uh, Cass is the one that I could imagine myself like owning his album. Uh, Butterscotch is the one that I think is among the most talented musicians I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Uh,
I,
so,
I I think she is. I just don't know if it's something I would go see or that I would purchase.
but
But
she
I
might be the
reckon,
one that
but I
I
rec, but I recognize her talent. I recognize what she's done.
she might be the one that I want to win the most.
Okay.
Even though she's not the one that I would like invest money towards
Yeah.
whatever seeing, hearing, owning, whatever she would produce. But like, this is the right venue for her to do what she does. Right? There's
Mhm.
not kind of like we talked about with the Glamazons. What is her her perfect audience? Like who? I'm not 100% sure. If a DVD or a CD or a, a county fair tour
Yeah.
is the right place for her, a Vegas show. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I love what she does, and I want her to have a place to do it. Why not America's Got Talent?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
So there you go. That's the top eight. We've kind of picked our top four. We'll see who is actual top four on the next episode.
Yep. Real quick, I want to go back because we talked about Terry Fader's sock puppets if they're in his merch store. So I went out to his website, went to the shop tab, and got a big old under construction banner on
Oh,
his shop page. So he's revamping his shop.
okay. Well, everybody, you can while you're tweeting at us about your rewatch of America's Got Talent season 2, you can tweet at Terry Fader and tell him to get his sock puppets back on the merch site.
Yes. And see if you can get one of those t-shirts from Jason Pritchett's family.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's a big secondary market for those.
Anything else for
All
this
right,
episode?
man. I'm enjoying this season so much. The nostalgia of it. It feels good. It's fun to watch. I'm enjoying these acts, watching them with what they come back with every time. It's been so much fun for me. So thanks for sort of being my outlet on this and having these conversations with me. but I don't have a lot left on the episode. I'm looking forward to seeing uh, how the season turns out, to be reminded of the quirks of season 2, and kind of watch them iron these out as we go
Yeah.
down the road here.
Absolutely, and I'm glad we're doing it as well. I've been wanting to do some rewatches of these older seasons, so it's great to go back and to get this nostalgia, but also to kind of get the history, so we know where we're going with AGT. And when we talk about season 16 here in about a month or so, that we can look back and be like, we can start comparing some of those acts to season 1 and season 2, and just get some comparisons there. It really helps us put out a better product when we can see what AGT was like 15 or so years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
So real quick, Jay, just want to let the listeners know that we've got some well, we're almost season 16, so we're going to wrap this up. Then we'll be about a month or so away from season 16. We've Commenter and I have some rewatchables that we're going to be releasing. We're also we're trying to schedule an interview. We've got the person locked in. We're just trying to get the schedule worked out where we can get him on. We got 3 different time zones we're trying to work with, and work schedules, and all kinds of different things. So we're just trying to get that ironed out. As soon as we can get that person on, we'll get that interview out as well. I'm really excited to talk to him, but we'll have a rewatchable to go with that interview as well.
Yeah. Can I give a clue about who it is?
Sure, why not?
I will say that it is somebody who we talked about on this season.
There you go. That's it. It's good.
Okay. Very good. All right. Well, I'm excited for that interview. Hopefully, we get a schedule worked out where I'll be able to be a part of it. But if not, I'll still get to hear it, and I'll look forward to that. You all should too. If you look in your podcast feed and you didn't notice that there was a Bandaloni interview, check that out, because that was so much fun. What a generous, big-hearted man Bandaloni is. I'm looking forward to seeing him at the Iowa State Fair this year, and looking forward to you know if you found us through Bandaloni, if he reposts this and you are whatever found your way here, give us a shout out in comments, or in a podcast review. We'd love to hear it. And I don't have much else to say, Cody.
Yeah, I mean that interview was fun. If you want to actually see Bandaloni, we've got the video posted on our YouTube
Right.
channel, so you can actually see Bandaloni. You can he briefly showed us his rig. It may show up on the video, it may not. So, but that was a lot of fun. It was very interesting to hear some of his stories. It was fun to hear you two talk to each other about your rigs. And again, I apologize, it sounds like I'm bored. I was not bored, I promise. So it was a lot of fun. So we'll have more of those types of interviews coming out. It's great having these people on and hearing about their stories on AGT.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
it really was. And there is some behind the scenes America's Got Talent news that he revealed exclusively on AGT time.
yes. So check that out. It's a lot of fun. So you ready to wrap this up, Jay?
Let's wrap it up.
Okay, so just as a reminder, you can reach us on the Facebook, the Twitter, Instagram, all AGT Time Pod, as well as our new email address, agttimepod@gmail.com. The old one still does work. We still do check it, but we're trying to move over to agttimepod@gmail.com. Rate, review. I mentioned this a long time ago, and I haven't mentioned it recently, but we're also on a platform called Podchaser. Again, not an advertisement, but they are the IMDb, or they call themselves the IMDb of podcast. You can leave reviews out there as well. I'm gonna be. We haven't recorded it yet, but I'm gonna be on another podcast this coming week. I'm not really going to say the name of the title because it's not family friendly. And this is a family podcast. So, check out my Twitter feed at Cody L. Patterson. And you'll hear me on another podcast talking about the wonderful 90s show Boy Meets World. I'm so excited about this, Jay.
Uh, great.
So there is a tie-in, and Jay, you may remember this. There is a tie-in with AGT and Boy Meets World.
What in the world could be the tie-in between AGT and Boy Meets World? Please
Okay,
enlighten us.
so of course, the wonderful David Hasselhoff was on the hit series Knight Rider during the 80s. Okay. Mr. Feeney, William Daniels, who not C3PO, different Daniels, William Daniels, was the voice of Kit on Knight Rider. So Mr. Feeney on Boy Meets World and David Hasselhoff on AGT were on the same show together in the 1980s.
There you go.
There you go. There's our tie-in.
And I think that qualifies you to be on their podcast.
Well, I was a teenager of the 90s. You know, that's kind of when I grew up. I remember a lot of middle school and high school stuff from from the 90s. So that's where I get my cred from.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, have fun on the podcast. Do us proud, and I'll remind all our listeners, mask up, stay safe, and make good choices.
Have a good night.